It's but
So I didn't break into your house and then
you
hit your
did
buy
not, sir.
button.
You did not, sir. I promise you. I
All right.
promise you. And I tell you,
Well, sometimes inside, I feel like I led many
and
people
I
here,
know,
bro.
and I
So,
know, and I
it's
know,
a battle I
and I
fight.
know.
Lord knows what I'm talking about,
So
and we feel
so
horrible.
difficult to be so
When the stock
difficult
is
to be in
good,
your position,
you
right?
know, when the stock is good, everybody loves you. It's like anything else. And when the stock is down, they definitely aren't, scared to tell you how they feel and put blame and point fingers. But I'm sorry, I apologize to you, and I know you don't mean it like that,
No,
but when I always hear people say that they kind of got into the play because of me,
no, no,
it bothers me a
no,
little bit
no,
where we are today.
not at all. Not, I didn't mean that in that way whatsoever. Um,
No, I know that,
much
buddy.
respect. Always respected you from day one. Continue to respect you. And I just, the only hope that I have is you and Lauren and Shad and Muntz uh, 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 and everyone who's involved. I just want us to stay together, continue to be together, and strengthen each other because I know what the other team wants, and it would be, other than losing a lot of money, the worst feeling would be to lose each other. And if we allowed them to succeed in that, then it would be just no restless nights for the rest of my life anyway. But as long as I know that we can sort of, work everything out and talk to each other, but that's my point, is that if they succeed in even dividing us and not letting us win the very last thing that we have, and that's to get to justice, then I wouldn't say shame on them. I would say shame on us, and I respect us way, way, way too much to say, we deserve to be shameful. So God bless you. Thank you for giving me the mic. I appreciate you, Mr. Rick. Thanks for all the years. And Shad, I can't thank you enough. And Winter and CC and Mr. Lauren. And God bless you all. Months, too. You need to step up to the plate, man. You need to come up and say a couple of words to us. Thank you, man.
I'm here, Omar. Yeah. So I haven't been super active in the last couple of days. I have been paying attention to what's going on. I thought it was important to kind of take a step back and just hear what people were saying and air their grievances without getting involved. Mr. Rick, Lauren, I from the bottom of my heart, I do apologize. Um, I shouldn't have said those things. This was a period of time where I was in a weird headspace, and I wouldn't say weird, but I was in a headspace where I had felt like um, the GoFundMe in our court case wasn't getting the support that I felt like could send us over the top, and I should never have reacted that way. I should not have said those things. Of course, you don't expect things that you say in a private, semi-private conversation to get leaked, but I now know that I have to be better and not allow those things to happen. Um, you know, Mr. Rick, just with you, I respect the hell out of you, man. And I hear when you say with the Finman stuff, we were kind of the two guys fighting that battle, and it really does. I feel terrible that I've really broken your trust like that. Um, because I do respect the hell out of you, and things I said at a certain period of time are not reflective of the way that I feel today. That doesn't make it okay at all. Um, but I am I feel totally different towards you. Um, and and generally, for the last 2 years that I've been following you, I've respected you, looked up to you. Nothing has changed in that regard. Yes, I said some stupid, idiotic things, but please understand that that's not indicative of the way I feel or the type of message that I want to convey to people. Um, Lauren, so you and I have been friends, I believe, for a pretty long period of time. Um, whenever we went for the nominations for the board of directors, like I wanted you there. That was I was begging for you to be on there because I respected your intellect, your knowledge of the company, your due diligence skills, all of those things, and I think you're a genuinely good dude. It sort of reflective of the same thing, feeling like the GoFundMe wasn't getting the support, from the two community leaders, and I acted out. I shouldn't have done that. I have a different appreciation for you than I had before. Um, I think there's a certain image that I had or other people had, and you've talked we've talked personally in the last couple weeks, and I feel terrible that again that I've broken your trust. That's not something that I wanted to happen. Um, Understand that the communications that we've had over the last couple of months, more recently, have been sincere. I've appreciated you. I've appreciated the DD. We worked together on some things that I really enjoyed. Um, being able to uncover with you. Um, I don't know what more I can say. I apologize. It's not. I understand that people are going to be. I'm going to be polarized from now on, and I understand that. For me, this isn't. This has never been about. Like like for me, this is. I've just been part of this because I wanted to help the community, um, and I now see that maybe I've done some things that had the opposite effect. But I just hope that we can move forward, whatever capacity that is, with my involvement, going forward. Because I truly believe in our lawsuit. I believe in the case. The evidence that we have is insurmountable. We have dedicated hundreds of hours over the last 3-4 months to make this a success. And I really hope that personal comments doesn't take away from our ability to be successful. So I guess that's all I have to say. Again, I apologize to Lauren, Rick. I messaged Jake earlier, because I love Jake. That guy's positivity is incredible, and I said something that I shouldn't have said, but that's in no way like what I think of him. I think he's like a beacon of light, and so um, it, I message him, personally with my thoughts, but I would love to publicly apologize to him as well. Um, Anyone that I hurt, the BBIG community, the BBIG family, declarants, uh, the co-plaintiffs. Shad is my brother, and I got to say that's for me. I don't want to let him down, and so whatever I need to do to rectify the situation, I'm willing to do. Um, so, you know, I appreciate you all letting me come up and speak. I've not been deflecting the situation or anything like that. I've really just wanted to take a step back and try to understand what was transpiring before making like a public statement or anything like that. So, thanks.
I'll speak on that. I appreciate that, and we all go through our emotions on display. It sucks that it happened. I appreciate that, very manly. Um, and of course, we just got to nip it in the bud and try to move past it. Pretty much just the other people make it a bigger thing than it is. To me would have just been personal, whether you reached out to me and said, "Hey man, I fucked up. It was a different time in my life." All right, cool. But these guys decided to put this out publicly and make it like this big thing to, start a riot with inside the community. So, after this, I said it, I don't know if you heard me, but after tonight, everybody just needs to wake up tomorrow, like reunited and try to push that out and you know, um, and try to get on the same page. But I appreciate that you came up and said those words because it did hurt. Like me and Lauren talked earlier this morning, it's because of who you are, and like we have so much history with you, and that it just hurt. But it's just like, if he comes up and he apologizes, then it's like, all right, he's taking acknowledgement for it, and he was probably just in a different place. And it's like that's just what's needed to move forward. You know what I mean? Because now it just pretty much tells the other side, like, well, Muntz is on the same call as Rick and Lauren, and he's pretty much apologized. And nobody more than me and Lauren understand frustration on this play. And then it'll drive a man to say some stupid shit and do some stupid shit when money's involved. And, unfortunately, you heard me talk about the Finman thing. Me and you were one of the people on the front, like going after them hard. And, there's a few community members that are here that me and you targeted, and they reached out to me over it. So it's like, my hands are kind of like tied to where I'm trying to, process what I've seen, and then also, try to justify like keeping the community like, hey, let's not go too fucking crazy. It's like, I know he said that, but get him on a space call first and see what he says, and try to give everybody the opportunity to at least speak on what transpired or didn't. But at the end of the day, it definitely needed to come out, right? Because there's no way, even if I say nothing and you never said my name, there's no way, like, I have to say it again, like Winter or Finn, people who were in there that me and you attacked would never let this rest, right? Because that's just how our community is. And that was a sensitive time. So there's no matter what I could have said to Winter yesterday, Winter was running that fucking space call. I could have told her, no, don't do it. I think it's about, she wanted to do it. I couldn't stop her. That means that was her space call, that her emotion. I can't tell her how to feel. I couldn't tell, Finn how to feel or what to say. They're part of the community. And if they wanted to host a space call to say what they wanted to, all I could do was be there last night. I didn't trash you last night. I said, I wish Chris was here, that he could defend himself. And I'm not going to take this platform to trash him. Because I really don't know if it's even him, if he even said it, what his intentions were. But I rather, like I told Finn today, I rather him just come and he can come on these calls and he can say what he wants to say, and then we'll move forward from there. Because I think that's just the way to be. But just speaking for me, I had no choice but to be in the middle of this, not simply just because my name was, in there, but because of who you are. And what me and you have done in this community and who we went after, these people, I've repaired these bridges with Finn and Winter the last 8 months. So when they approached me and said, hey, are you going to let, him slide with all this? And you see, the community is going to get divided. If you don't say something, you need to say something because you didn't let us slide. And it's like, fuck. I get it. You guys are right. I was relentless on you. I didn't let you fucking slide, and we were right in it to win it. You guys are right. I'm not going to deny that. I didn't fucking do that and go after you guys. So it's like I had to treat you the same way. Bring you out front or listen to you, or I knew sooner or later you'd get on a call and you'd say your piece on what you had to say. But it all needs to be done, right? At the end of the day, it needed to be hashed out on a call, and it's important because Finn is part of this, Winter is part of this, and it's like they don't need to be like fuck Chris or have bad intentions in their mind as to what you're gonna do, because if it brings doubt, then they don't feel comfortable. Now we're battling them. We're back to the same thing, and we're gonna be battling Finn. We're gonna be battling Winter because they're gonna have a certain opinion about you, just because of what transpired, right, with the Finman thing. So it's just it was a tough situation for me because I was trying, she's my sister and this dude's my brother, man. Everybody is. So it's just like when people come at me and they're adamant, what was I to say? She was running this call yesterday, no matter what. There's nothing I can tell her. She's a fucking pit bull and she's adamant in who she is. And I respect that. And I couldn't I couldn't have told her no. Finn too. I couldn't have stopped them yesterday. All they wanted. That's inside their heart. That's how they felt, simply because of what me and you did. And I get it. I apologized to them yesterday for doing what I did, and I feel ashamed that I went after, but it needed to be done. Like I just wish I didn't go about like attacking community members, the 75 of them that were in there. I wish I would have just treated that situation differently. But I understood when they came at me yesterday how they felt during that time period. And they were like, basically like what Chris has done is the same thing that we were doing with the Finman. Like, why should he get a break? And it's just like, all right, well, you guys host a space call. And like I said, I got up there and it's like, I told them I support them because I do support them. I support everybody in this community, but I just can't tell people what to say at the end of the day. That's on them. And I think that everybody's spoken their piece. And I didn't want, like yesterday, I didn't want a Coom to leave the call. There was like a little fight with him in Winter, and like Akum's my brother, and I love Akum. And it's like he's like kind of like me. We just want to keep the peace. Everybody stay peace. Everybody stay focused on the same thing and not allow others, to get us fighting with one another. Maybe this was needed. Maybe this is like a part that we should be thanking Landshark for doing it, because then after tonight it brings the strength even stronger, and kind of lets the other side say these idiots are still united, because you know what they're going to say. They call us idiots and bag holders, that we're still united, and that we're still creating a narrative inside of our stupid little minds. So let them think that. But at the end of the day, what matters to me is what you guys think. Like if you guys wanted to hold Chris to the fire, I couldn't stop you. If Chris didn't want to come out and say anything, I can't stop him. If Shad came out and like went against Chris, we can't stop him. Everybody has a mind. Everybody should be entitled to speak. That's part of this. So it's like, it's just tough for everybody. I'm glad everybody aired out, their differences and spoke what they had to speak. Thank you, Chris. You know what I mean? Like, dude, you already know I fucking fuck with you. Like, there's no secret with that. Like, me and you are almost the same. We call the bullshit. We're not scared to go at these people. And I know for a fact, because we did it with Finman together. And like, literally, I know what you are. I know who you are. And I know what you're made out of. And it sucks, right? Because our minds mentally put us into some, really hard times sometimes. And you just start thinking a different way. And I'm sorry, whatever you were going through at that time period, stress, whatever. And you said what you said, and deep down, I know you don't feel like that about me. So it hurt me, but at the same token, I was just looking to hear from you, because I'm like, I know for a fact this isn't how he thinks about me, because I've praised him a million times on these space calls and told him how proud I am of you moving forward, and how I love the look for you, like the way you represent us. And I've never been shy on these calls to, tell people that I support you and shot 100%. So I'm just glad that you came up and squashed it for the community's sake, to let everybody like, hey, we're only human at the end of the day. We fuck up. And what's important is how you move on from this. So hopefully you guys stay united, man. Like, I just know we're going to get tested more. This is just the beginning. And you guys have to be very diligent moving forward, the next few weeks about this GoFundMe. But when you think about it, it's a strategic group of people coming at us. And they're people who don't like me personally. And I think that this was their one last chance, because they have never been able to get in through with me. And they figured that if they could like post some shit about me and Lauren and create some deception, that we would come at you guys and dismantle, the BBIG family or the GoFundMe. I think that that's what their true intentions were. So if you guys tomorrow start your day on a better attitude, like we're all together, now you've limited their ammo and their firepower to just, to take away any doubt about the GoFundMe, whether you guys are scams. I've seen it all written all over Twitter today on how they're painting you guys out to be. And it's like, I don't want the entire community to start saying, did we do the right thing? Like, should we pull our money out? Like, nobody should be thinking that right now because of what somebody else decided to put out at this particular moment. Understand that that was specifically done, in my opinion, to see if I was going to react a certain way against Chris, or Lauren was going to react. That's my opinion. I don't know if that's a fact on what he was doing, because I really don't know that guy. I do and I don't. I don't speak to him personally, but from what I'm seeing, it's somebody who's held on to these for a while before he put them out. And he was probably looking for, some retaliation, that I was going to come after you guys and dismantle this case and try to put a hole in the BBIG GoFundMe to try to prove some weight on their side. So I'm just glad that things are spoken. We spoke like, gentlemen on these calls, and nothing got heated, and that's it. You move on. Bottom line, you show the other side that you're united at this point. I hate Twitter. I think, like, Shad was saying it earlier. I've said it to So I hate Twitter. Like I like it that we can get our information out there, but it's just like there's a lot of little kids on these play, and it's just like this is we have money at stake here, and we're involved in a lawsuit unlike any other community, and we yet face all this headache from an outside source. So it makes it quite difficult as a community to stay together and stay united towards the same goal when you have all this outside interference, trying to find out who we are, putting our personal information, breaking into discords, fucking going into these calls, dissecting it, what they want to hear, and then putting it out. It's always going to be something. Always. It's Chris this week. Next week, it's going to be somebody else. Just be ready because that group is extremely aggravated that they can't break us apart. And they're going to try week after week after week, exposing the receipts thing. We got receipts, blah, 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 that we're going to show people. And it comes to a point where you guys are either going to block everybody, right? And I don't mean keep them on your news feed. I don't mean like I don't block and keep shows around. I mean block them tomorrow. Block them. Don't allow them because then they can't get on your space calls. If you got co-hosts and they can't get on there, don't give them a mic. Don't give them a mic. Understand that this is a BBIG community only. Anybody outside of it that you think might have an outside, like spotlight or doesn't have skin in the game, don't let them in on the calls. It's quite simple to me on how to control a community to keep a community united. The second you allow these scumbags in here, you're allowing them to do that. Don't entertain them. It's simple. Don't entertain them. It's not about clout because I know who's after clout. Clout people don't want that type of engagement. So if you guys want like unity, keep those people away. Don't even look at it. Don't look at their fuck. If you have them blocked, you'll never see what they're saying. I've had James Garrison blocked for like 2 years now, and you guys still send me screenshots of shit he's saying. And I'll say the same things. I don't care. He's over there. I'm over here. James Garrison has never contributed to anything that I've ever done here. He does not play a role. All that boy wants is a attaboy. He wants a I told you so. I will never give him that. So he'll stay relentless on me till the day he sees me in prison or he sees this whole community dismantled. That's when James Garrison will be his most happiest. He'll feel like he succeeded. And only you guys will do that. Only you guys can take this community apart. It won't be me that does it. I've already said it today in this call. And it's not going to, I'd rather step away than ever destroy the very thing I helped build. So hopefully you guys have a better attitude. And when I come across my Twitter feed tomorrow, I'll see a bunch of positive shit, maybe some DD on what's going on, but hopefully not fighting because that's all I see is fighting and a lot of arguing and choosing sides. And there's only one side. That's BBIG. There's only one side. You're either with us or you're against us at this point.
So, Mr. Rick, can I say one thing before you leave, sir?
1000%,
Thank
brother.
you. So this conversation, the way it's ending, man, it's just like watching BBIG stock goes from like 0.20, what is it, 20 cents post split to almost like go to $12, all in 1 second. This was a incredibly positive conversation. So it was just like incredible. But the cheapest way they can attack us is just to post one Twitter or get one person to get out there and put something against one of us. And then all of a sudden, for an entire week, we're going to fight among each other. And then by then, they're going to do whatever they want to do. You know how many plans they've had so far. Get us from NASDAQ to, from no filing to this, to that, to NASDAQ, to all the courts, and to then take us to the to OTC market, then to the express market. And everything that they have done is they have used our time because they knew that we did not value our time. So I just want to say that I hate for them to be able to take this much energy and time from us. And yet for us to come out to know we really love each other, and at the end we're in this because our goal is the same. The enemy is one. And it's just we have to just concentrate and focus on that. So we, aside from the spending money on GoFundMe, is just wasting our own energy in fighting the real enemy. I mean, it's a lot easier for us to fight on the same front than two separate fronts if we can find unity, community, or whatever that we can. I think most of us, 99%, we agree on things. If there is 1% that we might disagree on things, shouldn't become a destabilizing situation to where we just can't move forward to the next day. Like the GoFundMe can stop just simply because one of us is not happy, or one of us is not. We need to be able to you just kind of get beyond that, because the enemy is using time. They need time. They're very the resources are very few. Time, well, they have money, but limited money. They have no time on their side, and they don't have enough shares. We have the shares. They need the time. If they can use that time to wear us down, divide us, and drive this thing to below to what it is, do you know how many people can bail out? As we are contemplating everything else, and I have in no way, shape, or form am I someone who can speak to any level of any your sophistication in terms of stock markets and charts and the technicals, but just the real fact that they're using those two things against us, time, and we're just not paying attention to what they're doing. So that's all I was hoping to say, that hopefully we don't allow them to do that any longer. And it's just a great conversation. That Months, you did a good job, man. I appreciate you, and I think most of the community does. And Mr. Rick, we're going to wake up tomorrow and we're all going to be brand new attitude. And we just need one of those great posts that you always have. Wake up to it, and it's just like a brand new day.
I hope so, man. It's the only way to get past it.
It's easy.
And what's funny is that I was just thinking that a lot of those guys say, like, we're paid, right? That we're getting paid and we're Team Ted. It's amazing that those people have no skin in the game, and they're here on Twitter every single day. The James Garrisons, the Raccoons, the Soups, every day, worried about where it is we're putting our money or why we're fighting. Hasn't that ever rang a bell with people why they're so concerned about the GoFundMe, about what we're doing? What is it their business on what we're doing? Maybe they're working for the other side. Maybe they work for Vinco Ventures. Maybe they work for Ted. And they're trying to fucking dismantle us because they know we're so far in that we're going to fuck them so deep
Nobody,
that it's going to
Mr. Rick,
hurt.
no other,
You know what I'm saying? So
Mr.
it's
Rick,
just
no
like,
other
as they
community is
attack us,
this,
we need to understand.
Mr. Rick, no other community. How many other communities? You're part of more communities than I am. How many communities do you know that they have the same passion, the same drive, same obstacles? We have so many more obstacles that most, and still united, and yet we're just fighting, like, internally, like, hey, my cousin said this to me and I don't appreciate it, and he needs to come and apologize. And that's what we were doing earlier. I hope that's how the whole family should feel about it, that we can move forward, because the enemy can't win.
I personally will tell you, I'll move forward.
Yeah,
I have no
the
problem with
enemy
that.
can't
Like Chris
win.
is,
It's just not that this.
no, Chris has spoke his piece. I'm good with it. Shad spoke his
Perfect.
piece. I spoke my
Perfect.
piece. Everybody spoke their piece. So I think tomorrow is like a new day. Um, And just remember the things I say about the other side. These garrisons, I've had a lot of problems, man. And I'm talking like I'm about to bring some legal heat his way.
Now,
I
Rick,
brought it to
Rick,
Soups. You know what I mean?
Rick,
Like,
but Rick, can I ask, how come you get to talk then about the shows, but you told me I can't?
because I'm
Because
protecting you. I seen what this fat fuck tried to do to you today, and he did that with me 2 years ago. And I don't want to see you go through it, because he's just a nasty person. And he's like He's like somebody who I picture in his house by himself, nothing to do, mad at the world because he's 600 pounds. So he decides to just fucking use every minute of his day because he's mad. You know what he's mad at? That we didn't allow him in space calls. We blocked him. So now he's created this vendetta because he's little, bro. He has nothing going on in his fucking life. So he spends the little bit of money that he gets on researching everybody. I just don't want you involved with it, Cap, because dude, this is a nasty person, and you don't need that. You don't need your mom waking up tomorrow with a death threat letter because this fat piece of shit wants to, you got to understand. I know you joke around with these guys, but you got to understand when there's this much money, these guys are really hurt. Like I know for a fact that dude lost 350 G's. He's showed screenshots a long time ago to me. I've seen his positions. He's really hurt. He sold out a long time ago. And he's one of those disgruntled people that is mad that we never let him talk. And I'm trying to protect you. I'm just trying to warn you to just, stop entertaining these guys. They're going to hurt our GoFundMe. They're going to bring some pain this way. They know how to create division. They did it with me and Aaron. I went at Aaron one day on a space call in like 2021 because they created like this division. They started posting things like that Aaron said about me, almost the same situation like that Aaron had said about me, that I was only doing it for clout and this and that. And like they started a fight. I literally got on a space call and called Aaron out, like to air it out in front of the community. But then I realized, like, hey, we're fucking fighting each other. And like all they're doing is getting laughs in the background from getting me and you to fight. So this is the same, be careful. These people are some nasty people and they get a thrill out of watching us fight each other. So that's why I just block it and ignore it. And I just want you to do the same, man. I know you're a very open person and you like the dialect back and forth. You've always been like that, and I don't want you to change. But just the weeds have no business being here. The stock 6969 don't have no business. Soup has no business. Garrison has no business. Puzzled Raccoon has no business. Like there's certain people that you should never ever entertain. They're not our friends. They want to find out who you are, who your mother is, your sister is. They want to send people to their fucking houses. Like these are some disgruntled people, bro. So I'm just saying, watch out. I'm trying to protect you and just telling you, not that you need protection, but I'm just saying, like, don't underestimate what it is that they can do, and then they bring a wedge in this community. So it's always important what it is we say outside this community and who we trust and don't trust, because there's so many snakes out there that in 1 minute we all love each other, and the next minute you can see what they do. They're part of all these things, and they threaten us with showing screenshots, and we got receipts on things you've said. So I'm just saying, bro. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying, just be careful. This is a different group of people. I don't want your family doxxed like mine, and your information out there, and then you starting to get these letters, because I can see they're going at you pretty hard. And then Finn, a long time ago ran Reddit, and you can see the nasty things that James Garrison is saying about Finn today, and he's trying to start a fight within the Reddit crowd. That Finn was controlling information. So you see what they're doing, right? They're trying to create division with Muntz. They're trying to create some division with Finn. They're with you. So they're trying to get everybody fighting. And if you go back and you read, I got screenshots. I just screenshotted tonight from Garrison like 3 days ago, where he's basically like rubbing his hands saying that he can't wait for the fights, that pretty soon we're all going to be fighting with each other. They planned this. This is all planned. And he's on this call right now. He's on this call, recording this call, so then he can play it and he can listen to it, because he's a fat fuck. And I don't care how many times I say it. I've always been rude to him because he's been rude to me, and the shit that he's done to me, there's no excuse. He's a coward. He's a little fucking fat man. And I'll always call James Garrison for what he is. He's a cockroach. He's a belittled cockroach because he's mad that I blocked him. And he'll never get over it. He's butthurt. And now he's butthurt because of you. So I'm just saying, save yourself some fucking pain and just delete this prick out of your life. You'll have a way better Twitter, because once I did that, it was much better. Like, I don't care what he's saying, because he's only talking to 10 people. If you think about it in the background, that guy's having conversations with himself. He's like Magicite with 5 accounts. Magicite just talks to himself back and forth through accounts. So they're basically the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know you guys are laughing because you know I'm saying it, because they're the same account. James Garrison has like 20 accounts. I got a screenshot the day before Aaron left, because Aaron was experiencing a lot of bullshit, and Aaron has lost everything in this fucking play. Garrison told Aaron that he was willing to spend $3,000 to $5,000 a month, and he had no problem coming up with that revenue. And he was going to make sure that there was always going to be somebody inside creating division inside of this community. Even if he had to pay people to spread bullshit, he was willing to do it. I have that screenshot of him saying it, and that was over a year ago. And guess what? He's still here today doing that same shit. Did he take his money, his little bit of money that he gets from the TV show royalties, and put it in here? Probably. He's that mad. And when you're lonely and you look like him and you're mad at your life because you're not going nowhere, you're going to fucking spend that little bit of money to go after all the people that told you couldn't play in their sandbox because he's mad. So take that with a grain of salt and understand who you're dealing with on the other side, that it's somebody really childish. It's a grown man, but he acts like he's 20. Because nobody would ever do this. Nobody would ever come after a community to be like, ha, you guys all lost your money. I told you so. But in the same breath, he tells everybody he lost 350,000. So he's not a bag holder. He's not a dumbass. He's not somebody who put his money into the community and got fucked. He doesn't want to be part of this lawsuit. You know what I'm saying? So think about that. Did he ever have real money in here? That's the debate. The very people that are creating this controversy have had very little play in here. They've lost maybe 1,000 to 2,000, but look at the headache that they've brought us. A big headache, right? So just sometimes you guys got to stop entertaining these fucks. I know Captain's a funny motherfucker, man. I love you. And he's like me in real life. We don't give a shit. We kind of like poke the bear every 5 seconds to see what the bear's going to do. But there comes a point, dude, like it's not worth it anymore. Like we're so beyond them right now, and like we don't need that negativity. And that's all they've done for like months upon months is try to call us out and get us to fight each other. So hopefully this is the last like thing we'll ever see, out publicly, that we all have to get out here and like, whatever, argue with each other, and that's it, man. Fucking, it's just, I don't want us to be, known as a community that fights. I want us to be known as a community that always stays united no matter what. I've watched the MMTLP community in the last month breaking down a little bit. It started where there was so many people on board, but you notice the vision. Every community has different people in it. AMC was the same. You start off with like so many people, but then you got your Tara Bulls and your other people, your Froggy Spencers, and people create a different narrative. And then boom, all of a sudden you got a community that no longer is united. Everybody's got different ideas. And it's like, okay, it's cool that everybody can talk and have different ideas. But at some point, for you to be called a community and that you're united, you have to actually be the two. You have to be one, a community, and secondly, you have to be united. As soon as there's that division in the middle, two people are thinking differently, that's a problem. And I think right now the community is all thinking the same way, which is the lawsuit. Anything else is just petty bullshit. Picture that they're over there poking their sticks through the fence at us. They can't really touch us. They can't hurt us. We don't allow them in the space calls to talk. So they don't really have a platform, do they? All they got is us continuing to gaslight their shit. If you guys never tweeted land shark shit, and if you guys never made this big fucking huge deal, if 100 different people didn't, DM me what it was that was being, I wouldn't have known because I'm really not on Twitter that much. Like it just would have been something that would have passed and would have went by. But the second that we start, like we're helping them. Every time we tweet or comment because we get angry that Garrison says something and we go under him and we write it, we just opened the dialogue. Now he's going to comment behind you. And, Brass MD's going to comment. Shill Nil's going to comment. Everybody will start commenting. If you just don't comment and you actually just block them and delete them, watch how quickly you zone them out. And that's what I did. And that's why they got so mad. The Teresa Perens, I can go on how long my block list is of people who have came into the community who immediately started trying to divide. And when I always notice that somebody's trying to divide us, I block them. I no longer want to see them. I don't want to hear from them. I don't care what they're saying. And that's it. You nip it in the bud. It's quite simple. Let them call us a cult. Let them call us pumper, whatever. They're not our problem. And we shouldn't be their problem. They shouldn't be trying to be worried about what we're doing with our money, how we spend our money. Why is it going into the GoFund? It's none of your fucking business. It's none of your fucking business. Do you have money in BBIG? Do you have shares? No. Then shut the fuck up. Move on. It's quite simple to a guy like me that's been on here for 3 fucking years. If you're either with us or you're against us, and only we can entertain them. And clearly this week, we entertained Landshark or whatever his name is. We did that. We're to blame. We put the wedge inside this community. We're driving to divide. They can't divide us. Only we can divide us if we let it happen. Hopefully next week will be different, guys. I don't want to be that guy that's like, because I don't want to tell people what to do. See, because I feel like I don't want to, because Cap is my man. Like this guy fucking has talked so highly of me and defended me in the last fucking 2 years. I can't tell Cap what to do because Cap is Cap. Cap is way beyond me. Like he hosts great space calls and because he brings it from the worst end to the best end because he likes to hear everything. But in this BBIG community, like it's not good because when we allow those others in there, that's where the division is. When we're like running these retail united communities or we're running, a call that's open to everybody, all right, then at that point we say, all right, you got, it's an open dialogue. If we don't like what they're saying, we got to respect it. We got to let them talk it, but we also got our points. But that's not the BBIG community. The BBIG community is we have a plan. We know what we're doing. We don't need another voice coming in saying, you guys should do this. And I think you guys are going to lose or you guys are wasting your time. We don't need those people. Those are people who just want that pat on the back to get some recognition. So we just need to cut those motherfuckers out. And it's quite simple, bro. Just stop entertaining these motherfuckers. Stop, and I know how Cap is. I feel like this is directed towards you, Cap, because I think like Cap, nobody will ever beat him in the last word because he'll always get you because Cap is mad smart and he'll always kill you in the end. He'll always have the last say because he's somebody who doesn't walk away. As much as Cap wants to walk away, he's just like, no, fuck that. I'm not letting them get the upper hand. And he's like, prove it to me then. Show me the fucking screenshots then. Stop running your mouth. That's bad. I get it because Cap is a stand-up guy. He don't give a fuck. He's like, prove it to me then. Don't be a little bitch. Show me what it is you're talking about. But there's another side of me that says, I know what you're doing, bro. And you're right. I stand with you. Fuck these punks. If they're talking that shit, show me. Show me what you got. But then there's the other side that says, bro, our community's too big. Fuck them. They're not worth it. Even if they got something, it's not for our benefit. It's not going to benefit us any. Fuck them. Let them post all they want, saying anything that they want. It's just not relevant to us right now. So, and it's not just Cap. There's a lot of people that are responding to these guys and like giving them, that backlash, that anticipation that they can come back and retaliate and say something. But if nobody says nothing, James Garrison gets 1 like. He gets 2 likes. Puzzle Raccoon gets 1 like. Nobody likes them fuckers. So if we don't entertain them or write on them, nobody, we're not creating the story bigger than what it is. And we're here today because they created this big fucking narrative that didn't need to be created. It was something that probably could have been like nipped in the bud in the background, but clearly somebody wanted, to get fighting started. I see your design. Your design is somebody, I know her quite well, and I've had so many disagreements with her, but I've recently, me and her have unblocked, and we started talking to each other. And, she hit me up after the space call yesterday, and she was like, I'm really proud of you. She was like, I like how you held your composure and you didn't like try to divide the community. And I told Finn and Lauren today about what she said to me, and I said, I'm glad because a lot of bad things have happened in this community, and I've had a lot of fights with a lot of people in this community, and I've unblocked a lot of people, and we've come too far now to wreck everything. And when she said, I'm proud of you, because me and her have butted heads a million fucking times, and when she said, I'm proud that you didn't come out there all hot-headed and that you just like kept it like, to what it was supposed to, and you didn't try to divide the community, even though I know you could have. And she even was like, you're a better person than me because I would have went up there and showed my ass. And a lot of people told me that they would have did it. And I'm just like, well, I understand that we can't have division right now because we have a lot of money at stake. And she's somebody who has, a substantial amount of money on the line. And the last thing any of us need to do is come into this play and cause division and stop fighting. Because I have to think of everybody at the end of the day who's got money in here, whether they are somebody, and she's somebody who very rarely jumps on these space calls. And she's one of the first people that used to be with me. When the community, as I mentioned, I apologize, Michelle, but as I mentioned everybody's names in here, she's one of the people that used to be on my calls from like day one. And she's somebody who can always attest that I'm not a pumper, that we started this community all together, for family. So just having her tell me that, she was proud of me yesterday, that I didn't divide the community, felt good. And I referenced that to Finn and Lauren this morning and said, I'm trying to do the right thing, guys. I just don't want to divide us anymore, because of what we got going on. And unity must always be the way, man. No matter how we kind of feel towards each other, at the end of the day, if Ted isn't in prison, none of us are going to sleep good. None of us. If we don't see these guys, imagine we lose the case, right? And they don't see jail time. None of us are going to be happy. There's somebody in this crowd that's going to get in a plane and fly to these people's houses and do something. I don't want that to happen. I want us to win smartly. I want us to use our heads and defeat them because they think they're stronger than us. They think that their money is longer than us. I want them to understand we aren't dumb money. And when we go after this company, we're going after RICO, which means that it's the entities involved that literally are the ones that stole the money that are going to face RICO charges, right? To me, that's the most important, is that we succeed in that avenue. It's great that we're going to fight to try to get our money back. But my ultimate goal is to have them like literally behind prison. Well, my ultimate goal is to get us trading, right? Because if we can get us trading and unhalted by some fucking miracle, we could see our money back. That's the light, right? But if we never see that, and this company is going to do exactly like we said, then the path must be aligned together to see justice. Whether money's going to come back to us should not be our first, motive in this play, whether we're going to get compensated. If we do, then we do. But if we don't, we definitely got to make sure that these people are going to be held accountable for what they did, because none of us will be able to sleep if we go through all this and we spend years here and we didn't see that. I'll feel like I failed. I will feel like I failed every single one of yous if I wasn't able to expose this corruption with this fraudulent syndicate in 5 years that I've been here. I don't want to ever think like that. I don't want to ever think that I let you guys down. I'm sure Shad feels the same way. Chris feels the same way. Pugsy, Cap, all of us that donate our time. We don't ever want to feel like after a few years that after all this, we have nothing to show for it. Absolutely not. So we got to stay united, man. We have to stay together. We just have to stay together. When one of us goes away, and when I was saying I want to step back, I want to just step back. Sometimes you need a break from Twitter. I suggest a lot of you take a fucking break from Twitter. Cap should take a break from Twitter. Like 2 days, 1 day, zoom out, go fishing, do something. Just zoom out, because Twitter is toxic. This is almost a point where this community is in need of mental breaks, and I do them at times. I just have to stay away. It's just too much. It's time that you spend time with your family. Go do something with your family. Hang out with your daughters. Hang out with your sons. Do something other than pick up your phone and look at the stock and pick up your phone and come on Twitter to see what somebody's saying. Sometimes you need that break in life to just get away. It's very important to keep a routine like that. I personally do it all the time. Maybe I'll see Twitter in the morning. Pugsy's the only one, like the comments that I like in the morning. That's it. Other than that, I'll go through my day. You try to go to work, hang out with your family, maybe come out at night, see what's going on, see if anybody's got a space call. Other than that, our time is dedicated to a lawsuit and pursuing that. We can do that in the background. All that shit gets done in the background off of Twitter. So I don't know what to say, man. I feel like I've talked a lot, but I just hope that people leave this call tonight, not wanting to fight each other tomorrow or entertain these idiots. that it's just more positivity because I feel like we're losing our light that was on us. And I see Brittany's on this call just 2 weeks ago, because of Brittany being on here, and we were trying to fucking stop Jesse Law and like the attention that she was bringing to BBIG ticker. It's like we fucked up. Like as a community, like we fucked up. We had all these people's eyes and they were helping us put attention. All of a sudden, we let one dickhead come in between us and take the focus off. Now it's becoming a negative thing. And I see Brittany's in here. I don't want Brittany to come into our calls and see us arguing. I don't want her to come in here and because she tweets about our community. She tweets about things that are going on. I want her to have a good vibe about us. I don't want her to come in here and hear us fucking arguing with one another. Like this is somebody who spreads our information. Retail United people come in here. I don't want them to see us being unprofessional. We actually set an example for other communities. So many people. I'm part of Retail United. I'm a co-founder of this shit. So it's like I told Finn today. I will always try to do my best to represent our community because I represent many communities. So I have to always know what I say, how I act, off screen and on screen. I'm responsible, and I have an oath to everybody here to always do the right thing by everybody because it's bigger than me. And when you have these type of people on your calls, I don't want like Ross Miller, right? Russ Miller sat on our call 3 hours last night. I don't know what he thinks about the situation, what's going on, but it's like I don't want Russ Miller to come on these calls and hear us fighting, and not talking about the lawsuits or what's going on. We should definitely always be making it productive every time that we're speaking, because that's when we're gaining the most attention. We're not getting any attention right now. The only attention is negative, and that's not good. Like I want it to be back to positive, calling out the Jesse Laws, the Brian Harts, Jeff Yaz, Hudson Bay, Ted, Rod. I need Lisa. Like nobody talks about Lisa. Lisa resigned and walked away. I bet she's living life right now pretty well, thinking that nothing's gonna come her way. Because right now we're too busy arguing with one another and we've taken the focus off of her. That's what they want. They want us to stop mentioning their name. Every time I say Ted, it rings a bell with these assholes. Every time I follow Ted and I know that Ted ain't getting out of jail, it hurts the other side because they're just like, fuck. And I'm happy. I'm happy that we're like reporting the facts on what's going on with BBIG. You know what I mean? And that's when I think the community is the strongest, and we gain traction. The way we're acting right now, no CV Payne will pick up our story. I can talk to CV Payne all I want. He'll never pick up our story. You know what I mean? I was part of trying to get Finman on that call that day with Charles Payne because Charles Payne's at AMCA. I reached out to Unusual Whales, which is my boy. We both follow each other. Like I've been with Unusual Whales since the Getty Up. When I have some news, I always try to pitch it to him or get his advice or see if he can put out one of our stories. I always try to use my resources to the fullest. But when my resources are looking back at our community, they're not going to want to fucking advocate for me. No matter who I am, I can't tell them anything. So it's important everything that we do, whether I'm here or I'm not here, you guys will always conduct yourselves, you know what I'm saying, in the most professional manner possible. And always keep it about, the stock and understand that there's people who have lost hundreds of thousands of dollars. And these people that are on this call, they don't want to hear us fighting. They want to hear about the lawsuit. They want to hear about how we're going to move forward, like A, B, and C. So, it just sucks, guys. I hate these calls, man. I don't ever want to be that guy that sits up here and pumps the community up or brings it. If that's what I bring, then I bring that. But it's the same token. Keep your eyes open. Understand, like, there's a lot of fucking people who don't want to see us winning. They prey on us losing. We're not losers, man. And at the end of the day, I feel very confident that we can win this if we stay together. So don't let these fuckers divide us, man. At the end of the day, there's people who got some serious money, like Pugsy. I very rarely talk about Pugsy. He's got so much money in here, it makes my ears bleed. And even the fact that he's still donating, I can't do it anymore. I've lost so much, but I thank guys like Pugsy that still have a few bucks, are working hard, putting it in. And it's just like, imagine just giving up right now. Pugs is out all his money. Everybody would be out their money if we all just decided to quit today. So hopefully nobody quits and we just figure out a way forward, man, and keep the eyes focused on us at all times. Like positive shit. Positive. The negative shit is just a black cloud over us at this minute. Pugs, I'm gonna jump down, brother. I love you. Thank you for having this call. Chris, I appreciate you, bro. Abe, thank you. Everybody who spoke on this, you know what I mean? I just appreciate you guys, man. I got like a little tear in my eye because I don't know if I ever want to talk on these calls again, man. Twitter's getting a little bit stressful for me. I catch it from both ends. As many people who support me, still I got a lot of people that want to see me behind bars for the things that they think that I've done or the people that I've brought to light. That I should be somewhere where I'm not. Um, and I just want the people that are going to stay here. You guys have my same fire. That you don't let like you don't need another Mr. Rick here. Like you guys are all Mr. Ricks inside. Every one of you has what I have. You guys always say I articulate it better, that I speak better. It's only because I've been doing these calls for 3 fucking years. Um, but you guys all have it inside of you. So even if I'm not here and something medically happens to me where I can't be, I want you guys to understand that, my medical condition is serious and that I can't always devote all the time that I have here. And I expect that you guys are going to treat this community in the same way that I leave it to you, which is honesty, trust, and that we respect each other. At the end of the day, we're all in it together, and that you guys run this community like my profile picture is that we're all in it together. And you don't let none of these assholes come in between it. I've never let any of them come in between us or talk shit about us. So I expect that you guys do the same thing at the end of the day and protect one another and see this through, man. Like honestly, see this through and just don't give up the fight. Thank you for having me, Pugs. And Months, I love you, brother. Keep up the fight. If you need anything from me, like anything, whatever, just hit me up, DM me, and I'll see what I can do to get you information or whatever. But any of you guys, don't hesitate to reach out. And I just try to stay quiet, man. I can do mad damage quietly in the background, and that's what I've been doing. I've literally been doing that. And I haven't touched base on this. Ted Farnsworth today sits in jail because of you guys. So much attention and so many letters and complaints were filed with the Department of Justice and the FBI Director Jack Kaufman that I do believe in my heart that you guys literally made that happen, and the judge got to see that, and he was granted no bond. So all these things that we were doing that people think that aren't big, they are. You can do more damage in the background by emailing people than these space calls or any other thing that we can do by tweeting personal emails to congressmen, Department of Justice, attorney generals in Nevada, and we have the best resource. Like I see Brittany up here. Like we have one of the best resources in Nevada to get our news out. And why we're not exploiting that is beyond me. I always was taught use your resources, even if you are one man, you use your resources correctly, and you can be like 100 men. And I've always thought of that in this community. It started with 5, went to 10, went to 20, went to 100, went to 1,000, and then we built a community on that same principle. That as long as you got your resources, and my resources are you. We got lawyers, we got accountants, we have Department of Justice people here, we got reporters, we got all types of people in this community. All I did was take my resources and bring you guys to the front line and give you guys a microphone on this platform. And you guys enlightened everybody and taught everybody about BBIG on the background. And I've noticed all you guys have stopped that. All the attorneys that were in this play don't talk any longer. People that work for the Department of Justice have stopped coming on these calls, like talking. I don't know if they're scared at this point or what's going on with them. But at one point, I utilized all the resources we had. And I think the community has to go back, search for these resources and get them back on these calls. Tonks is extremely smart. When she speaks, I listen. She's so articulate. She so knows the background. She's not a lawyer. She's not a fucking financial advisor. But man, she is fucking smart. Like all the years that I've been here with Tonks, I super respect her. That chick knows so much shit. Why we don't utilize her or listen to her, it's starting to be our downfall. we're starting not to bring these people up in the front anymore. Like I see Mark giving me a heart. Mark, super knowledgeable. I've watched Mark fall down in the calls. Mark is like starting to not contribute as much. Like I can't always run space calls to delegate who comes up and who doesn't, but I think it's extremely important that when these people are on the call, that you bring them up to the front and let them speak about what's going on. And that's how we got stronger. And you become smarter when people like that are allowed to speak. But I notice a lot of people now are in the background. Like Michelle, your design, I haven't heard her speak in so fucking long. And she's so smart. But she like either maybe she's scared to talk now, don't want to come up, but she was involved in these calls. She stopped coming up. So many people have stopped talking. Rob MC, another one. He used to be so big into these calls to the point where he don't even speak anymore in these calls. He does most of his talking on Twitter. But I think the community needs more of those people to step up. You heard Omar today. Omar hardly speaks in calls, and it's good to have people like him come in these calls to keep the morale going, to keep the unity going. It has to be behind me, guys. It's like I'm almost prepping you for like, if something happens to me, like, no sadness, no nothing. Move forward. I haven't been shy to tell you guys my position. My family is made the beneficiary. My wife depends on you. My kids depend on you. That you guys see this through and try to, get money back in our investment. Um, I'll always stand by you guys, even if I'm not on Twitter all the time. I'll always stand with you guys at the end of the day. But you guys got to understand what made me successful. I kind of just gave you some of the tools on how I created this massive community. I did it by allowing others to be a part of it. And if we stop just being a handful of people, we won't go nowhere. I took everybody's input in order to create this community and make it as massive as it is. And you guys mean a lot to me. Every one of yous, every single one of yous mean a lot to me. And it hurts me at the end of the day to see us in the position that we're in. And it hurts me to see us fighting with one another. It really generally does. I'm not just saying that. It really does hurt me watching what's going on with the stock and how much money we've lost. And I would, Omar says don't do it, and I'm just like I feel like it because I've a lot of people have followed me. Everybody I know, I didn't hit the buy button, but a lot of people followed me because of the due diligence that I was bringing with Lauren and what we created. But here we are today. And I know nobody blames me, even though a part of me feels very horrible for where we are right now. Um, all I can say is that I will be here as long as the good Lord allows me to be here. And I will always support this community 100% on anything I can do. But I also have my limits. I have a family to protect, and I've said a lot in 3 years beyond this community. Remember, I'm an AMC ape, and I started talking shit in AMC 2020, exposing Gasparino alongside Cat Striker. I have a very long history of being a dickhead. I've called out many important people in this play. I didn't care whether you were a politician, who you were. I frontlined you and made you a example for apes. So I know that my time is going to be limited at some point, and some kind of charges probably will be casted upon me. And at some point, you guys got to understand, I need to walk away. I need to bow down and like kind of take a back seat simply because I got us here, right? Now you guys kind of has to push us to the promised land, like what I said to Shad. I can no longer provide any more substance here. My fight is in the background. You guys have to take it over. You guys are the Twitter community, the Reddit community, Stock Twits community. It's going to take your messages and your posts to keep everything going. Just don't give up, guys. Like, it's going to get harder. This fight is going to become extremely harder, and the further that we get into this court case, it's going to get real hard, and people are going to try to divide you guys even more. You just can't fall for it at the end of the day. Too much money's at stake. We're real people at the end of the day. You guys fight for my family. You fight for my kids at the end of the day. If you guys give up, then you're giving up on me. I've never given up on you. So please don't give up on me at the end of the day. But respect the people that come into these calls and who we have here. They will walk away from us, and we'll never have them here again. While they're here, respect them. Like I keep seeing Brittany because she's like she must have the most followers out of my people, so she sits right out here in the front, and she's been in our community, a couple of months, and she's brought a lot of light when we needed it. And I don't want her to be here listening to this shit. I want her to come in here and take notes and say, "Oh, this is what I'm going to talk about." Oh, what they did? What in Nevada? What Vico Van? I want her to be doing that. I don't want her to leave here tonight and say, blah blah blah, which she has the right to do. But I want these people that come in here, the Britneys, the Ross Millers, like the guys we had from BlackRock, these CEOs. We need to paint a better light when they actually are in here to show them what kind of community that we are. We're not like any other community. That's pretty much it, man. I got nothing more to say. I love you guys. Let's have a better attitude tomorrow. It's like 1:20 in the morning where I am. I got to be up early. I'm sure a lot of you guys have to be up early too for work. And just Pugsy, thank you for running the call. It's important. Hopefully we made it a good call because I remember the first call you had was pretty exciting, and hopefully we hashed it out. And I know I walk away today, and if you guys don't hear from me, I'm good with Months. I'm good with Shad. I apologize for like getting a little loud with Shad. That's just the emotion, and that's why it's easy for me to recognize what Chris was saying. I'm a very emotional person. I have a lot of passion, and sometimes you guys know how I am. I speak out the way I want to. I don't want people to think that that's who I am or that's how I represent myself. So I just want to apologize to Shad again for that little, tiff that me and him had back and forth. I had nothing to really do with him. It's just, my anxiety within the community and so many people. I don't represent you guys, right? But there's a part of me that feels like I'm the grandfather in this play, and I look up to you just like you guys look up to me. And when you tell me you're hurting, I'm hurting. And when you tell me that you need me to do something, I do it. And when Winter and Finn came at me yesterday and today, and they wanted me to speak up, I would have did it for any of you guys. If Muntz came at me and said, "Rick, I need you," I'd be there. If Pug said, "Hey, Rick, we need some deflection here," and blah, no problem. I'm there for anybody that wants me to do it. So I don't want you guys to be, he's on Winter's team, and Winter is always going to be Winter, guys. When we walk away from this tonight, Winter's still going to be her tomorrow. So whatever it is she says, we got to understand that that's a grown woman. She's 54 years old. She's going to say what she wants when she wants. I just come to learn who she is, and I respect that. I wouldn't want anything more out of that. If it becomes too toxic, then that's why I started jumping in. I didn't want it to be toxic. I just wanted it to be aired out and us finish it tonight and leave her at peace. I know she's not on this call anymore. Hopefully she left with peace tomorrow and she's going to start her day positive. Hopefully Finn starts his day off positive tomorrow after today, and nobody starts attacking Chris, and we just let it die and continue. And thank you for Pugsy for holding this call, and giving us the stage to air it out and try to just have some resolution, bro. I appreciate that. And me and you have had our ups and downs, and it's all good, bro. It was one episode. I can't even look at like what me and you and Lauren. It was one thing. It's same thing with Months. We've been here for like fucking 3 years. It's one fucking thing. You guys apologize. Fucking good, man. I could give a fuck less. That's not what it's about. You guys stepped up like men, and in real life, we would have smoked a blunt or cracked a beer, and that would have been the end of it. So I expect that, this is the same thing. When we walk away tonight, there's no more shit. I'm not saying nothing hidden. Chris isn't saying nothing. Pugs ain't saying nothing. Captain's not saying nothing. Everything's been aired out tonight on this call, and fucking that's it, man. We move on as one tomorrow. Thank you, Pugs, man. I love you, brother. And thank you so much, man. I don't know where you find the money, brother, but thank you, man. I wish I was working again the way I was, but I'm not. But I appreciate that guys like you are still working very hard, and you're literally putting your money where your mouth is. And I commend that. Super commendable in life. And you know me, bro. I'm like, if you say it, do it. Don't talk about it, be about it. And you're definitely one of those guys that, you talk about it and you're putting your money up to help our cause, which is for everybody. So thank you so much for doing that. And I feel like I want to apologize, but I can't, because so many guys apologize, for their situations that they wish they can do it. I put myself into that boat. The stock market has taken so much of my personal money, BBIG as well. But as I find money, I do try to put it in there, and I do it anonymously because I have to. And I know a lot of the community respects that I've always said that, and I will always be the same, whether my information is out there or not. I still try to protect my wife and my kids at the end of the day, as much as I can. They didn't ask to be brought into this. I started this, and my wife yells at me all the time for getting involved in this, because it only brings me more drama in my life. Um, so it's just like, I appreciate that you're doing that. I'm not able to do as much as I was able to do back in the days with money, but I'm so thankful that there's still people like you, Pugs, that are donating, because if the money stops, we stop. Being donated. That's the bottom line. If the money's not coming in, our court case is going to stop. So I thank all the people that still have a few bucks in their pocket, that keep throwing it down. Thank you so much. And we will match our goal at one day. I don't know when this is going to be, but it's just going to have to be a collected, a collective bit that we're going to have to do to get 300 grand. It's a lot of money, but I think we can do it. But the second that, the money stops, we stop. And that's going to be bad for us. And that's what we can't do right now. Like, people like Michelle, I just talked about, she's not going to be happy. Pugs won't be happy because we have, a few $100,000 in this. That means that the money is gone. That's it. We've lost the money in the GoFundMe. We've lost the money in our investment. Lisa now thinks that she can be sipping margaritas with an umbrella on the beach somewhere in the sand. I don't ever want that. I don't ever want us to ever be like that. I don't want us to ever give up. That's where the true thing is. If we don't see this through, we're fucked. Everything we've done, what I've created, will be down the fucking tubes. It won't leave me feeling good in life. What will leave me feeling good is if you guys just keep pushing, and we hold justice. Even if we can't get our money back, we hold those accountable. And I think we've done what we can do. At the end of the day, and everybody be proud, man. Be proud. We didn't give up. Other communities are taking notice. We're rewriting the rules in the stock market, whether you guys think it or not. Even this community, since the last 2 years, we brought a lot of light onto naked shorting, how the market works. I've talked about brokers since day one, dark pools. So we've educated ourselves at the end of the day. And we need to use that information against these people. Why bother being here for a few years and we're gonna just walk away with nothing? I could never live with that. Pugs couldn't live with himself the rest of his life, months. None of us could. So make the best of it, man, while you guys are here. And just keep being positive. Like Pugsy I like Pugs's attitude. He's always positive for the most part. With the stock, like day after day, because that's what it takes in these communities to become united. The second that the community starts thinking that we're not as strong, then they're just not going to be a part of it. I've learned that from trial and error with this community. When things are good, the community is always behind you. When certain things start to be bad, you'll notice that there's less and less people on it that are going to be a part of it. So thanks again, Pugs. I noticed Lon's on the call. Lon, love you, brother. I don't know our role here, Lon, anymore, except just to keep supporting the community on how we move forward. Because we speak for a lot of people, and I realize that today, that a lot of people look up to us, and that if we stop, it's a bad look. Omar didn't say it, but I knew what Omar was saying. Like, if we quit today, it's just like we're giving up. Like, there's times mentally I want to walk away, but I can't walk away from them. They mean the world to me. And I get it. I get it today. Thank you, Omar, for saying that. I need reminders at times, because this play gets frustrating. And at times you just want to put your Twitter down and just not look anymore. But I also got to remember that, I've led a lot of people here, and people respect me and they look up to me. And if I quit this shit, then they're going to think that I gave up, and I'll never be a trades. Michelle can laugh at that. That's for her. And many people said that to me, and I said it to people. I will never be trades. I was in AMC. I looked up to him, and it hurt me. Like real life hurt me when he stopped promoting AMC, and he said this was his last video. I was like, you fucking cocksucker! Like I looked up to him. I never want you guys to ever look at me like that. That I was here this fucking amount of years. I created this fucking shit, and then I walk away. I don't ever want that, man. I will stay here till the fucking end. And if I lose it all, then I'm privileged that I lost it all with you guys. And it wasn't alone. I did it. Everybody was together, and we made this decision together. So at least in my life, I'm happy about that. That I have you guys, because my real family doesn't understand anything I'm doing. They've been telling me that this is a waste of time. I spent too much time in these communities, but I think only you guys relate to me. Um, so I take everything you guys say to heart, and I appreciate that you guys look up to me. And I don't want to let you down. I represent Retail United. I'm a co-founder, and I talked to Finn earlier, and I said, the only thing I didn't like when you were on that space call is that, when we have this platform and we have a voice, we need to present ourselves in a more professional manner, because we also represent Retail United. So we don't want to give, Retail United the idea that we're this dysfunctional community and that we host space calls yelling at each other. So it's important that everybody who proceeds forward on these calls understand other people look at us, man. They're looking at how we conduct ourselves, the level of professionalism that we show on these calls. It's grown this community. I got my following because of portraying myself in that manner and holding myself there. And you guys are going to grow more by holding yourselves accountable like that. To stay true to this community, stay true to each other, never lie to each other, don't hide shit from each other, put everything out in the open in front of each other. And this fucking community will fucking win at the end of this. I will guarantee you that. I can't guarantee you that we're going to get money from the lawsuit, but I guarantee you we will still all be here together if you guys follow these simple rules, because they made me grow this entire community. And a lot of people don't understand how I did it. I literally laid it out the last 30 minutes how I did it. And if you just are an honest person and you do these things that I said, we will always be united. And even if I'm not here, and if something, God forbid, happens to me, I want you guys to carry on. This is it's a sensitive subject for me, because I wish I could tell you guys what I'm going through with my health, but don't fail my family. At the end of the day, I worked very hard with Lauren and a bunch of others, to keep this community united and to get us where we are here. It sucks that these people took us for a loop, but my wish is for you guys, if something, God forbid, does happen to me, I want you guys to fucking see this through. And if you guys, if something does happen to me, right, I want you guys not only to see this through, but I want you guys to relay the message back to my Twitter, because my wife will not check these accounts, right? Because she could give a fuck less about Twitter. She could care less about what I've been doing with BBIG. I just want her to know, and my kids to understand in the future, that I was part of something, that I never gave up, no matter how many people told me I was stupid, I was wasting my time, I was leading people down a wrong road. I stuck with what I knew, and we created this fucking massive community. And I've really come to genuinely love you guys like you're my brothers and sisters. And all the money we've lost, I take that to heart, because there's a part of me inside that I know I led you guys to this, because you guys stuck behind me, and the due diligence was good. Me and Lauren brought some fucking hell of due diligence because of what this company was telling us, and we projected it in the right light. So, but I also understand that, we brought you guys here, and a part of me just never wants to give up. And I'm sorry, guys. Like, because I feel like just watching this divide tonight, if I didn't come here on this call, this was going to be a bigger fight all week long. And then a part of me says, what happens if I'm not here? Will these guys give up? Will they just quit? Will I literally lose all my life money? And a part of me says, no, fuck no. They won't give up. They'll live on past your memory. These guys are like you. They won't quit. So it's like, I want to know in my heart that you guys are like me and you'll never fucking quit. You guys will literally always push this fight forward against anybody. I don't care if it's market makers, hedge fund, whoever. I've been after everybody. It's beyond management with me. And I want you guys to finish this off like that. And I bet you there's another me out there somewhere. Everybody's going through something. And sometimes people don't speak, but they're like, they hold us accountable. They hold, like, there's people that hold Pugsy accountable, people that are holding Months, Lauren accountable. There's people that hold us accountable at the end of the day because we're the ones grabbing these microphones and we're the ones talking. So I've always tried to use my voice and my platform for positivity, to let you guys know what was going on and to let you know I'm with you. I'm just a regular Joe from Rhode Island. I'm a fucking nobody. Like, I wish you guys knew what was inside of me. What's inside of me is that, in 2020, with this community, people laughed at me and Lauren. And to see how big it's gotten that we're in a lawsuit and we've had CEOs on our calls, we've done so much more than I ever thought that we would have ever done. And I could have never have done any of this stuff without any of you guys. And it's like, you guys are some incredible people, man. At the end of the day, you guys are some incredible people. Um, I don't know, man. I'd rather just end it there because I'm really going, I'm going through a lot of things in my life right now. And I just want this community not to fight. Like, Lauren can attest, and Michelle's up here. We started this community for love and family because we were already down money, and we were trying to figure out what this company was doing and how we were going to try to get our money back. Um, and I just want you guys to have the same mentality. None of these fights really ever went on back in the days, in the space calls where we were attacking each other, and I don't want that to be involved today, um, because it's just the one thing that I know will break this community apart is if we start causing division all of a sudden. So I appreciate you, Pugsy. Thanks you. Um, I'm gonna drop down, and thank you, Chris, and everybody. And hopefully you guys will have a great attitude tomorrow moving forward, man. Love you guys.
Uh, Thank you, Mr. Rick, for speaking. And it's tonight's call was an awesome one, though. It's a hell of a anniversary to my very first space call. It's it was uh, overall it was positive, and I like and as always I always like seeing the community get together. But yeah, it's but to and it I would like to bring up my bro who sounds like Barry White. He has a poem coming up. It's he has a poem ready for us. It's let me see if I could get him on. Um, Yeah.
May I first say, God bless you, sir. We love you. You're my brother. You make me proud to be here. Your tears are my tears. Everyone, Rick and Mons, thank you for this talk. Just know that we love you both. Please allow me to share a poem I wrote for you. Both of you. It's called Be Big, our brothers. In bonds of blood that cherish tie, our brothers' hearts side by side. Through trials faced and moments shared, a bond of love that's rare and true. Hand in hand, they grow and love. Facing life storms, they walk the path. A friendship deep as oceans wide. Brotherly love, forever to guard. In moments dark or skies of blue, a brother's love remains so true. Through thick and thin, we'll always stand, accustomed to a brotherhood. That's word. To the fires of hell may spread, it's important our character hasn't flowed. They battle doubt, hate, and fear, but nothing will ever come near. The chills will try to divide, but we are too strong to run and hide. We discuss the issues like family, and we continue to pursue the criminals handedly. I know the shields are listening to our call, thinking that we almost dropped the ball, but we will one day soon have won. Ah, fuck it. Garrison weighs 1 metric ton. So what's us elevate this bond? A connection strong, will be on. For brotherly love, a gift from above, an eternal flame, forever to love. Thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful week. I love every one of you.
That was an epic poem. It was beautiful. It's thank you. It's thank you for joining months, Captain. It's I'll see you all tomorrow though. It's I gotta get up in about 4 hours though. It's have a good night.